Just start in your 4-point table stance for me. Okay, first thing we'll do is warm up the back just a little bit. So we'll just exhale round, push that back up to the ceiling. Inhale, belly down, head and bottom lifts. Exhale, we round. Inhale, belly down, head and bottom lifts, just warming through that spine. Exhale down, beautiful. Belly down, head and bottom lift. And then just come into your flat back, maybe give that bottom a little bit of a wiggle side to side. And we're going to get some heat through those legs. So beginners, what I want you to do is just take your knees a little bit further behind you in your modified plank, and you're going to push back, pounce forward, really keeping strong through that centre. Anybody else, feel free to join me in your full plank position, holding that nice strong plank. Inhale, we bend the knees, go back. Exhale, pounce forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. And just really trying to warm up through that body, making sure you can use your glutes and your tummy muscles. Last one, hold that plank. If you're in your modified plank, you're just going to hold. If you're with me, you're just going to rock back and forth. Imagine you're gliding under the surface so your bottom can't lift. We're just warming through those calf muscles. And then replace the knees down. Come into your rest position, toes together, knees apart, or you can have your knees together. And just stretch those arms out. Nice big deep breaths. Coming back onto hands and knees, we're going to look at some of our bird dog now, just to warm through hips, shoulders. So take your left leg back, right arm forward. Inhale, we lift. And then exhale, bring it back down. Other side, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Really trying to keep the weight even. We're not collapsing to one side. Remember to keep that leg in line with the body. We're not lifting it too high or you're going to go into your back. One more each side. And just relax a second. And remember, at any point, if you want, you can grab your cans or your light weights. I'm going to grab my weight for this next one. It's just a 1 kilo. We're going to take left leg back, right arm forward. We're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, bring elbow and knee into the body. Inhale, take it out. And then exhale, hug in. So we're concentrating on one side. If you have ankle weights and you want to be a superstar and put those on as well, feel free. It's a little bit too early for me to want to put ankle weights on just yet. Keep going, in and out, nice and controlled. Hold out on this next one just for a second. And replace down. Remember, you don't have to use a weight. Right leg back, left arm forward. Inhale up. Exhale, hug in. And for anyone that's finding this difficult, you can just tap up and down. You don't have to bring the knee and the elbow in. You can just go with your practice today. And just because you've done it before doesn't mean you want to do it today. That's fine. Hold out on this next one, just a little bit of balance. And release for me, perfect. So we're going to come round onto our bottom, legs out in front. I know you all get sick of me saying this, but I'm going to say it just for those who haven't had me before. I know we like to think we can all sit nice and straight with our legs lovely and long in front. But if you are going to have your legs on the floor, nice and straight, but you look like this, please don't. Have a bend in the knee and have that good posture. I'd rather there be a gap under your legs, but your back lovely and long. So your choice, just try and do a bit of self-practice. Arms in front, slight gap between the legs. We're going to exhale, push those fingertips forward towards the screen or the wall, depending which way you're looking. Inhale, restack. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, restack. Keep that going, and remember, as we restack, we do not want to lean back. We want to keep our centre over our hips. So, assuming that everybody knows where the back of a bra is, what you're going to do is restack. Imagine that that bit of your bra is hitting the wall, and then we restack. From there, that is your good posture. Hold at the top, put those hands on those shoulders. Inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, middle. Inhale, right. Exhale, middle. So we just keep twisting through that upper body. One more each side. Last one. Perfect. We're going to change that breathing a bit. We're going to exhale to the side. So take a big breath in here. Exhale twice to your left. Inhale, middle. Inhale, middle. Keep that going for me. This is really going to help activate your centre, really get those tummy muscles working. Last one. And release, just roll those shoulders for me. Make sure we're not holding any tension. And then we're going to come and lie down on our mat. So feet on the floor, knees bent. If you want your weights, your cans, keep them nearby for in a second. We're going to find our neutral spine. So we're going to imagine that pelvis is a clock. 6 o'clock is the belly button, 12 o'clock is the groin. We're just pushing to 6, inhaling up to 12. So the bottom, the back of that pelvis stays on the floor. We're just rocking through. We're trying to keep our ribs down. I just want the movement from the pelvis. But even though this is one of the most boring exercises that people tell me I make them do, it's really beneficial for the bottom of that back. So if at the end of today you feel like you've got pain in that bottom part of your back, lie down and do this. We're now going to come into our neutral, which is halfway between the two extremes. We're not at 12, we're not at 6. We can still get a hand underneath that back. We're going to start with our bridges. So take a big breath in. Exhale, push to 6. Then lift your bottom up. Middle back, upper back. And when you're at the top, I want you to imagine that you're showing your top of your leggings to the wall behind, really giving you that lift. And then exhale, roll down, top, middle, bottom, into that neutral. And again, inhale here, exhale, push down, slowly come up, pushing to show the top of those leggings to the wall behind, and rolling down. Things to be mindful of here is that we're not pushing up and letting the knees come open, they're in line, and we're not arching the back too much at the top, we're keeping it in our neutral position. And this is just our warm up here for our other bridges that we're going to do. So once we get to the top here, let's see if we can lift those arms up to the ceiling, which is harder still behind, and carry on going through that spine, top, middle and bottom. Remember, don't sacrifice form for going for a harder variation. Keeping the arms down, you're still working the same muscles. Last one, we're going to hold at the top, replace those arms if you've got them lifted, and we're going to start lifting our left leg into tabletop and just tap it down and then lift again. Let's do that hip to hip, rib to rib check. We haven't dropped down, we're trying to keep nice and neutral, pelvis aligned on both sides. And then let's change legs, going for our right. And really take note of which side feels easier to you. And replacing that foot, rolling down that spine and just rocking the knees side to side. If you want your weights, get them ready. What we're going to do is put the feet together, ankles, heels together, toes slightly apart. So we're in a very small V, so the toe joints have probably got an inch, no more than probably an inch, half an inch between them. We're gluing the inner thighs together, so you're really going to feel this on the inner thigh. Roll all the way back up into your bridge and all the way down. Really gripping those inner thighs together. I want you to imagine that you're holding something between your knees that you don't want to let go. Chocolate bar, credit card with unlimited amount of spending on it, whatever floats your boat on a Friday morning. Hold at the top, little squeezes together. So you're just squeezing those inner thighs, really feeling them work. Now if you haven't got weights, you can keep your arms down. If you want to add another layer, you can lift those arms up. If you want your weights, feel free. Hold the legs there. We're just going to open and close the left leg. And can you bring the right arm down at the same time? So we're just putting the elbow in line with the shoulder. So we're doing opposites here. This can be quite challenging. Let's change sides. Right leg opens, left arm lowers. Really feeling that burn on the inner thigh. Hold at the top, let's open both knees and drop both elbows, or you can keep the arms down. Couple more, just 3 more, we'll go for 3. 2, 1, and roll down for me. Just replace those weights, those cans, whatever you've got, and just rock that back side to side. You can even extend those legs a little bit just to stretch out those muscles. Make sure we're in our neutral. We've still got that slight gap underneath the back. And we're going to move on to some of our core work now, or our centre practice as I like to call it. So from here, we're going to hook the right leg into the chest. The back will go down, left leg can go up to the ceiling for beginners, 45 intermediate, advanced, and if you want to lift head and chest up, feel free, elbows out to the side. We're going to inhale, pull that leg back, switch, exhale. So we inhale and exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale exhale, and release. Let that head come down. Just rocking that back side to side. We're going to do that one again. You've got options here. You can either carry on how you were, you can let go and just bring in the knees with the core. Extra layer, grab those weights, hold them. So we're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keeping that going, we've got no tension in the neck. Remember, this is a multi-level class, so you only do what you can. No pressure to do anything. Last one. And release, legs come down. Just rocking that back side to side. I'll check what time we're on, come on, I can't see. Let's have a look, what are we on? That's fine. Let's go for our next series of 5 movement. If you've never done the series of 5, today is your day. Hug those knees in. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. If you want, arms can come back and hug in. Remember, you can, if you need to, keep that head on that floor. Legs can go to ceiling. Extra layer, have those weights. But make sure you've got a slight bend in that elbow. We don't want to jar into the shoulders. Last one. And release down. Rocking back side to side. Let's lift that right leg up. You can have a bend in that knee if you need. Grab behind the thigh. Left leg 45 degrees for beginners. Just off the floor for intermediate. Head and shoulders can lift. We can grab higher if we want, but we're not gripping on for dear life. We're just putting the fingertips on. We inhale, pull back. Inhale, pull back. Switch. Exhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Added extra layer, we can just do that pulse without the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Release down. Definitely feeling that in the tummy. We're nearly there, just 2 more exercises left. We're going to interlink the fingers, put them behind the head. Make sure that your elbows aren't gripping around. We want to see the elbows in the peripheral vision, but the elbows are out to the side. From there, we're going to tabletop one leg, tabletop the other, glue them together, extend the legs. If you need to keep more of a bend, feel free. We're going to inhale, lower the legs slightly, exhale back up. Inhale and exhale. If ever you do this exercise in the gym and you're one of those naughty people that put your hands under your pelvis so that you can drop your legs down, don't. Do it this way. It works 10 times better. We make sure that that pelvis is in our supported spine, using our tummy muscles, not using our hands. Just put those legs in tabletop, rest here a second, just take some big breaths in and out. Nearly done. Inhale, twist the upper body to the left, right leg extends, back to middle. Inhale, other side, left leg extends, exhale, back to middle. Inhale over, right leg out, back to middle. Last one, right, left leg, back to middle. We're going to challenge ourselves today. We're going to go to the left, take the right leg out, and can we just keep changing Pushing right leg forward, left leg forward. Smiling helps, I promise. Switch sides. We're going over to the right, the legs are still moving. And release. Stretch the arms back, stretch the legs forward. And just take some nice deep breaths. From there, we're just going to move those weights out of the way. We're going to come onto our left hand side. Use that arm as a pillow for me. Make sure we're nice and straight, hips are stacked. That bottom leg for beginners can be bent, knee at the front of the mat, foot near the bottom. Right leg nice and straight. Or if you want to challenge yourself today, take that left leg to the front corner of the mat, still keeping that right leg nice and straight. Top hand, pivoting on the mat if you want a bit of support. It could be on your hip. We make sure we've got that waistline lifted. Think of that neutral spine. We don't walk around kink to one side. Let's lift and lower that top leg. Really thinking about hips being stacked. Self-practice technique. I can't see my foot in my peripheral vision. I'm not lifting too high because the higher you go, the more you're going to take that leg forward. So we're just keeping it where we can keep control. Hold that leg at the top, let's circle. Little circles. Change direction. If you've got that hand on that waist, let's just put it in front for a second. Make sure that leg is in line with the hip. Flex the right foot. Bring the leg forward. Pulse it twice. Exhale. Point. Inhale, take the leg back to straight. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. And again, forward. And back. Forward. And back, hold, take that leg a little bit further back. We're not popping the ribs though. Lift and lower again. Little lifts and lowers. Put both legs together, bend both knees, and what I'd like you to do is have the knees as far up as you can so they're at a 90 degree. Feet at the front of the mat as well, so imagine you're sat on a chair, knees are in line. I'll just move those weights for you. And from there we're going to open and close foot and knee at the same time. Really going to get into these deep rotating muscles. If you've done this exercise with me before, you know that the burn is real. Even I'm struggling a little bit today. Hold at the top, knee and foot, knee, then foot. Keep going back and forth. Imagine you're on that little seesaw with that leg. Hold the knees together, extend them down the mat. We're going to take that top leg, and if we can, put the foot in front of the left leg. Now, if you find this difficult, feel free to put it behind. Front preferable, but doesn't have to be. Bottom leg is going to be flexed, and we're just lifting and lowering that bottom leg, really getting into that inner thigh. Lift and lower. Hold at the top. Can we go forward, then back a bit? And release. I'm going to switch around onto the other side. So I'm now on my right side, arm extended. Remember that bottom leg can be bent, or it can be at the front of that mat. Hips are stacked. I can't see my foot in my peripheral vision. We're just lifting and lowering. We've got that gap under the waist. Hand can be on hip, could be on the floor. Hold at the top, let's circle. And circle the opposite direction. Hold that leg in line with that hip, hand can be back on the floor. We come forward twice, exhale, exhale, inhale back. Flex, exhale, exhale, point, inhale back. Keep that going. Hold it back. Take it a little bit further than before, but we're not popping those ribs. Lift and lower. So really getting into the glutes here, back of the leg. Bring those legs together, bend those knees. We're going to bring the knees up, feet to the front of the mat as well. Imagine you're sat on a chair. That's the kind of positioning we're wanting here. And we're going to lift and lower, top leg, knee and foot in line. I'm already feeling the burn on this side. Hold the leg at the top, bring the knees together, then the feet. So we're doing that little seesaw movement. Getting into those deep rotator muscles. Few more. Last one. Release, extend those legs, top leg over the top if you can. Remember, it can go behind if needs be. Flex that bottom foot, lift and lower, getting into that inner thigh again. Hold at the top, take the leg forward, then back. Little movements. And release for me, beautiful. Just roll onto your front for me. Hands are going to be either under the shoulders or next to the head, elbows into the side, feet pointing back if we can, slight gap between the legs. And if you can, you're going to rotate the knee out slightly so that your heels are coming together a little bit, toes out to the side. And we're going to start. Inhale, lift head, chest up, and then exhale, lower. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. Next layer, you can lift, squeeze the shoulders behind, and come down. Inhale up, exhale down, and lift. And lower. Holding there, let's just do the legs, lifting one leg up and down, then the other. Keeping that hip bone rooted onto the floor. Up and down. And release a second, just push up and over into that rest position, give that back a little bit of a break. From there, if you want, grab your weights. Now, if you have any back issues, shoulder issues, I advise not doing this, but it's totally up to you. You can do this without the weights. We're coming back into that same position, okay? We're going to just do the top half of the body first. So same thing, we inhale, lift, and then we squeeze. So we've got the added extra bonus here of that weight. Can we incorporate one leg at the same time? So lifting and lowering, right leg comes up, then lowers. Inhale, left leg, and lower. Remember, this is a back exercise, but it's also a centre exercise. So we're using our tummy muscles here. Can we do both legs at the same time? Let's give it a go. Lift and lower. Lift, then lower. One more. Lift, hold. Can we swim? Little kicks with those legs for me, up and down. And release, let go of those weights. Push up and over into your rest position. Toes together, knees together if you can. If not, feel free to open the knees up. Just taking a little bit of a break. From there, coming onto the knees for me, we're going to stretch those legs out. Right leg comes forward. Coming into your hip flexor here. Right knees over the right ankle, left leg pushed back. If you want, hands can come down, but it's not a necessity. If you want an extra layer, turn those toes underneath at the back, lift that knee up. And just sink down. Hold a couple more seconds. Replace the knee if you had it lifted. Let's take the bottom back, lengthening that front leg. First of all, you're going to stand up like this, lifted. Let's check that placement. We haven't gone into our left hip. If we're in the right position, that's when you're going to come down to stretch out a bit more. Nice deep breaths. From there, put that foot in the middle of the mat. If you've got any knee problems, please don't do this one. We're going to take the foot over to the left. It's in line with that left knee. We're walking forwards, that knee's in a diagonal. And we're just stretching here. That right knee's just outside of the right shoulder. Now if you're struggling with this one and you want a variation, okay, follow me. What we're going to do is actually come and lie down on our back. So only if you can't do that one, you're going to put the right ankle on the left leg, open that knee up and lift. So this is what we class as our figure four. So there's your two options for that exercise. If you're in this pigeon with me, feel free to bring the elbows onto the floor, onto your forearms, getting that lovely deep stretch into your piriformis. And if you suffer with bad back problems, lower back problems, say you've been working at home, maybe doing some studying with the kids, the piriformis tends to be a problem muscle. It's only a small muscle, it's in the glute area, but if that gets tight, it pulls that pelvis underneath slightly, and that's when we get into those L4, L5 lower back issues. So this is a great stretch, or the figure four I just showed you is a great stretch to do. Coming onto the hands, keep the right hand in front, take the left hand behind. Can we grab that left foot and give it a bit of a pull in? It doesn't have to be too far, you can just miss this bit out if you want. And release. Coming back onto your knees, so if you were in that figure four, come back up for me. Left leg in front this time, coming back into our hip flexor stretch. You can be lifted like this. Hands can be on the floor. Extra layer toe comes underneath at the back and we lift that knee, sinking into that hip a little bit more. Lower that knee down. Let's push back, make sure we're aligned, we haven't gone into the right hip, we're centered, then we can come down if we want. Doesn't have to be too far. Then let's do our pigeon stretch, or if you did the figure four, you can do that one. We take the foot over to the right hand side, walk those hands forward, left knee is outside of left shoulder, we're in that diagonal. Coming onto the forearms if you want. And again, just feeling that stretch. Some people feel it on the inner thigh, some people feel it down the side of the leg. It really depends where you are tight. I feel it in my piriformis back here. Make sure we're nice and centered. Nice deep breaths. Come on to those hands, left hand in the middle. We're going to take the right hand behind. Can we grab that foot? Note how my pelvis is still facing forward. I haven't twisted too much. And release. Just fall onto your left bum cheek. People in the figure four, just come and sit on your bottom. I'm going to face you. My new favourite exercise, as you all know, is opening up those hips a little bit more. So feet together. It doesn't have to be too close. If you struggle with your hip rotation, up here is perfectly fine with your feet on the floor. But if you can, feet together. Take the right hand and put it next to the hip. Left hand on the right knee, and we're going to inhale, push down. Exhale, release. Trying not to let that left leg lift, so we're just naturally opening up the hips. A lovely little stretch for those hips. If you suffer, another great exercise to do. We're going to hold on to that right leg now, and we're going to twist to the right hand side, just a little bit of a back stretch here. Nice deep breaths. Coming back to middle, left hand on the floor, taking right hand on the knee, just lower and lift. Putting that right hand on the knee, we're twisting to the left. Coming back to centre, I'll just twist round. We're going to just lengthen those legs, have a slight bend in that knee for me. Take your right hand and grab the outside of your left foot. Push the foot down as you pull back. And you're going to feel this intense stretch in your shoulder blade. We're just opening up the shoulders. And then we switch, left hand, right foot, pushing into the foot, pulling back, opening that shoulder. And release for me. And just last thing, coming back into our rest position, toes together, knees together if you can. Just opening the back up. And just taking a minute to take some nice deep breaths. And slowly restacking that spine. A few shoulder rolls at the top, and you are done. Thank you.